Whew. So I've got a good buddy, or I would say an acquaintance. We've spoken a few times. Jason Casper, he's said that he lost $700,000 yesterday with it being stolen. And this is a reaction video because he's a fellow trader. He's a fellow crypto compadre. I have lost close to that amount, but not from it being stolen, more so to my negligence in not knowing when to pull out, no pun intended. So I can empathize for him. I can't sympathize because I didn't actually have it stolen, but here's what he has to say.
$1,000 stolen from me, absolutely gone in a second. I lost everything that I had been working for the past 7 or 8 months. Now, I was debating whether or not to even make this video, but I think it's very important to highlight a few things that happened to me so that you guys out there don't share the same fate as I did. So basically, for the past 7 or 8 months, everything that I've been making through trading and through business that I've been putting into my crypto portfolio, I've been keeping in a hot wallet, an Exodus wallet. Now,
So it's a hardware wallet, but it's connected to the internet. So if your computer gets compromised, boom, that can happen. And this individual, man, how calm he is for something like this. I know it's a green screen behind him, but you probably want to tear everything apart, rip everything down. I mean, that is a full-blown house. The average home these days is around $400,000. That I know this guy lives off grid. He's got his own chickens, his own farm. He's very minimal so that he can save and put everything towards his trading because he is a good trader. If you guys want to learn more, he definitely is more experienced than I am. I will say that if there's one place that I think is easy for people to get into crypto, it is Coinbase. They had an IPO. They're regulated on the New York Stock Exchange, so they can't really do much because they've got to have shareholders because it's not a private company anymore. It's not a Binance. It's not an FTX. They are pretty much owned by shareholders here in America or whoever decided to buy the stock from their initial release. You can buy it right now. I own quite a bit of their stock just because of this. And, it's an indirect way to be exposed to crypto without actually owning any. And they also have this membership that is $30 a month. Yeah, it's kind of like, $30 a month, right? Like Netflix isn't even $30 a month. But it's got up to $1 million of protection. And what does that mean? Like, truthfully, you've got FDIC insurance with banks. That's up to $250,000, but that's backed by the government. Then you've got the brokerage insurance, which I think is SPIC. So that's up to $500,000 per account, and that is regulated by the government as well. Crypto is not. Nothing about the government is in this stuff. That's why it's enticing for a lot of people, but then that's also why it's not enticing for a lot of people. So if they went belly up, they're probably not going to be able to pay this $1 million. So just fair warning on that. I do have link to Coinbase down below because if any exchange that's where I go to buy crypto, right? Because I somewhat trust them. Then you can move it to a ledger if you'd like. But for people that are just starting out, that don't have all mass amounts of crypto, they need something simple, and Coinbase is probably the place I would definitely choose over any other ones, right? They're the most likely to survive.
if you're keeping your assets in an exchange, it's very vulnerable if the exchange gets hacked. But if you're keeping your assets in a software wallet, like Exodus or any other wallet that runs on your computer or smartphone, you have to understand that if your device gets compromised, then you can be hacked and your private keys can be found out, your passwords can be found out, and your wallets can be drained. And that's exactly what happened to me. Last night at about 3:30 in the morning, somebody hacked into my Exodus wallet and they drained all my accounts. So this is over 10 Bitcoin we're talking about, and a whole bunch of other assets that I personally had a plan for as we moved into the bull market to actually take that money and after the bull market cash out and use that to purchase another investment that was basically going to provide me with passive income for the foreseeable future, potentially even the rest of my life. So here's something that you guys really need to know. Please, if you are keeping any assets anywhere other than a hard wallet or memorizing those private keys, it is at risk for getting absolutely stolen. And this is crypto, right? There's nobody you can call. Once it's on the blockchain, that's it. There's nothing I can do, right? I just have to learn from this mistake. Now, this is my own fault, guys, because I did not take the due diligence to move this into cold storage. I did take the diligence to take it off exchanges. I'm taking it off Coinbase. I'm taking it off MEXC. I'm taking it off Biget. I put it into a hot wallet, but I didn't take that extra step to move it into a cold wallet. And I also didn't take the steps to at least change the addresses and the passwords of my hot wallet on at least a monthly basis. And these are...
He's given all very good info, and he goes further into speaking about that he doesn't hate this individual. Like, here,
that's okay. This is my channel, so I could do what I want. But as you guys know, I am a follower of Jesus to the best of my ability, right? I try to follow God's ways to live a biblical lifestyle. And the busboy had not yet to clean up, and I would go in and eat the food that was on the table. We would call it different places in my life. There was a time in my life where I lived in a vehicle, and I would go into restaurants, and I would look for tables where the party had left, but the busboy had not yet to clean up, and I would go in and eat the food that was on the table. We would call it strange man food. All right. It's because I had no money, right? And the Lord had so much mercy and favor on me. He took me, he blessed me, he gave me the knowledge I needed to start businesses, to start learning how to invest. And he brought me so many wonderful things in my life, such as my farm, my homestead where I can grow my own food, raise my own animals, my wife, my children, right? He gave me a place to live. And so
you can't help but like this dude. His story is just something else. I will link the full video in the description. And man, I feel for him. I definitely feel for him, because that $700,000, whether he says it or not, was going to turn into 5 to 10 million here in the next 3 to 5 years. So Jason, we love you, brother, and you have the knowledge to make what you did. You're going to continue to be able to make quite a bit more. This is just a small bump in the road, even though right now I'm sure it does not feel small. So guys, go subscribe to Jason's channel, and let's throw him some support for sure.